At this time of year, there's lots of giving and receiving. It's probably a good time to talk to kids about money. Well, Steve Siebold is here, one of the authors of How Money Works, and he joins us now. Steve, thanks for joining us. I got to start with, we often get the sense that there's so many things that parents are supposed to talk to their kids about that we think are important, but money's not really one of those things, but it probably should be, hey?
Definitely should be. I mean, it's so important. It's one of the most important things in life, and we don't really learn how money works in school or anyplace else, and that's why Tom Matthews and I, my co-author, wrote this book.
Now, one thing you talk about in this book is you tell kids to invest their money. So, don't just put it in a savings account, but actually invest it. Why is that?
Yeah, take a part of the money, especially if they get it for Christmas or one of the holidays. Take a portion of the money, maybe 50%, invest it in a stock or invest it in something, and teach them about how investing works, about how compound interest gathered over time can make a huge difference in their financial lives.
What's a good age for that? At what point do kids start getting their heads around knowing how interest works, how saving actually can be beneficial, do you think?
Well, I invested in my first stock when I was 15, but I would say these days kids are smarter. They have more access to information than we did. So I would say about 10 years old would not be too early to teach them how investing works.
It's funny, one of the things you talk about, and this is one of the challenges I have with one of my kids especially, is that they think as soon as they have money, they have to spend it, right? The notion that the money could sit there in a wallet, in a bank account, doesn't compute for them. So how do you make that a priority for kids to know, hey, I've got this money, but that means I can actually hold on to it rather than go buy a game, buy a Lego right away?
Yeah, Chris, I think that probably extends to most adults too. It's easy to spend, right? So I would say set a budget. Teach them how to budget money. When they take money in, help them realize that there are expenses involved in life, and teach them a little bit about that. Even their own expenses in terms of what they want and what they need, those types of things. And you get them set on the right track. Because, again, it's not something most likely that they'll learn in school.
Mm-hmm. It's a battle, though, these days, too, with all the commercial, you see an ad for the new toys, the new video games, whatever it is, and everything's a must-have now, too, right? We talk about how kids are more informed now than we would have been. They're also bombarded with a lot more product placement. So how do you combat that?
Oh, yeah, advertisers are masterful at getting us whipping up our emotions, especially during the holiday season. I mean, they've commercialized it for so many years, and they've been very successful whipping up these things that really are not even desired sometimes, and they get us to want these things, again, kids and adults alike. And I think that to teach them basically about not only how money works, but how advertising works, and how advertisers get paid to manipulate our emotions to make us buy things we don't really even want or need.
You also think families should include their kids in the whole family budgeting process. Why is that?
Yeah, I think so, because I think you can teach them how the world really works, not what they see on television, not what they watch on movies, and what they hear their friends talking about, but the way the world really works, where money is a primary factor in our lives, whether we like it or not. And the successful management of money and growing of money and protecting money is a big part of what makes life work.
So why have we stayed away from that? Why do you think we don't teach this more in schools? And why don't families see this as a priority often? Teaching, just because money is so pivotal to what we do, why haven't we made that more of a priority to teach it to kids?
Chris, it's a great question. I think it's a taboo topic. For some reason, we've connected, we correlate money, or institutions do, and teachers do, and coaches do, and clergy does sometimes, where they equate money or correlate money with sometimes even evil, but at least of which something that if you want money or if you desire money, well, then you're a bad person, or you're a narcissist, or you're greedy. And so I think we don't teach it because we have such disdain for the topic itself.
Yeah, last question then, Steve. Do you like the idea of giving kids money as gifts? Is that a smart thing, or should parents be sticking to Transformers and Legos?
I don't think there's anything wrong with giving a kid money. I think that just to show them, to take response, to teach them a little bit how it works as they get older, and then try to make sure they understand that there's a big responsibility that comes along with the management, spending, accumulation of money.
Okay. All right. The book is How Money Works. Tom Matthews and Steve Siebold are the authors. Thanks for joining us today. For more information, go to howmoneyworks.com or find them on Facebook. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Chris.